After over 10 years of waiting, 2022 finally let me have my chance. I went to Japan! I'm still processing the fact that I got to see everything through my own eyes and make my own memories in this city. I was so nervous and scared at first, but I actually always imagined my first trip being on my own. And in the end, I was grateful to have an experience all to myself, and it really forced me to push myself in ways that I have never pushed myself before. To be honest, I'm really glad that I waited this long, because I've been lucky enough to meet so many people who live in Japan, have been to Japan, are Japanese. I couldn't have done it without them. I'd say I spent about a month and a half to plan, because the whole trip depended on me winning a live ticket to see my favourite band. So it meant I had to wait quite a while to actually push any plans into motion. I had about a month and a half of planning time, and then it was just go go go. It ended up being mainly a shopping trip. Got to take advantage of that weak yen. Most things were actually the regular sort of price when I converted it back into pounds, but food and drink were very cheap. I didn't vlog in the usual way. I used this old thing. I used to vlog using this camera on this channel. That's what I'll be showing you guys today. This is my travel diary of my first trip to Japan. When I left the station where my Airbnb was located and I stepped out onto the street for the first time, it felt like I couldn't possibly be there. Watching J-drama for like 10 years of my life, it reminded me of all the lives of every character I'd ever watched, all the apartment interiors that I'd seen. I took myself to the Airbnb and got in. I walked to a family mart down the road and saw Ikebukuro on a chicken ad, so first convenient expedition. And that was it. Day one. Woo! I wore this really cute comfy outfit, a little H&M jumper and a skirt from Liz Lisa. In hindsight, this outfit was too warm and I was really sweaty and hot and uncomfortable wearing my Liz Lisa coat over the top of it. I went across Shibuya crossing. I got quite startled. A random man approached me, asked me where I'm from, how long I'm staying in Japan for, and I told him it was my first trip, and he asked me "Hitori?" and I was like, yeah. Hitori desu. That experience made me very nervous because I thought, is that going to be happening a lot? Is that going to be a daily occurrence? But that was the only time that happened. On the first day I went to Shibuya 109. It was my first place that I went to. I've always wanted to go to Shibuya 109. It has a lot of brands that I love. I started to feel hungry, so I thought, oh, maybe before I start shopping I should go and get some food. I just finished Hatsukoi and Napolitan was on my mind, so I walked around and around Shibuya for a long time. I heard a lot of songs playing that I knew, and it was just so surreal. In the end, I went to a place called Miami Garden, which I think is a chain restaurant, and I had such a delicious mentaiko spaghetti. So it was like mentaiko, like kodoro, with some nori on it. It was so delicious. After I ate that, I went back to Shibuya 109 and I did my first gacha. I did a little Kyuruga gacha, who's a little cat who's drawn by an illustrator that I follow, and I'm so obsessed with this cat. I basically went around and around and around 109 for about 3 hours, I want to say. It took me ages to actually feel confident enough to approach shops. I was really nervous since I was on my own, and a lot of the shop assistants approach you straight away and they start asking questions and things. So I was freaking out, I was really nervous, and I was struck by how gorgeous all of the shop assistants are, and I was so overwhelmed because all of them were so cute, and everyone has such a very precise look. I just was so floored by how pretty everyone was. After walking around for so long, I felt exhausted. It was just a lot for me to process, I think, and yeah, I didn't feel too good after that day. I felt too overcome with feelings and I was exhausted, so I think the best choice was to have a little sleep. On Friday I went to Takeshitadori, Harajuku. It was so overwhelming being on Takeshitadori and seeing everyone and walking down the street and seeing all the shops that I've seen. I bought a little PN candy floss, so I had that. That was yummy. It gave me some energy to start walking. Throughout the whole time I was in Tokyo, I saw so many like jirai girls and so many very like subkaru people and people wearing more like androgynous VK looks, not just in the shops but just in the street as well. I saw so many girls wearing the same Liz Lisa coat as me. I saw at least 10 Lolita. I always want to look different and stand out, but somehow it was just really comforting to see people in Tokyo wearing the same clothes that I was wearing, or like the same bubbles shoes. I walked to La Forêt. There was this shop that sold lots of different handmade goods, which was really cool. They had loads of really cute handmade pieces from different artists. I bought loads of jewellery from there. I went to check out Hey Hey. Their pieces are very pricey, so I didn't actually end up buying anything. It was still very cool to see their brand up close. I went to the basement area where a lot of the Lolita brands are. I bought a dress in Atelier Pierrot because I really wanted a dress to wear for Christmas. I got really nervous, so I was just circling nervously. But there's some really cool shops, and when I go back I'll definitely buy more from La Forêt. I walked down Omotesando and just went across the bridge and looked out over Omotesando. I went to that Starbucks that everyone goes to, that's right across from La Forêt, that has the like rooftop garden. It was quite quiet when I was up there. It was very windy and it was really beautiful and the view was so nice, and I had a creme brulee latte. Really weird being there because I've seen it in a few videos. Very surreal to see it in person. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was. And then I headed back to Harajuku to go to the Pom Pom Pudding Cafe. First of many Sanrio cafes that I visited in Tokyo. Got taken into the cafe. The cafe is amazing. It's so cute and I really love the decor. There's lots of pom pom puddings everywhere. It's super cozy and cute, and I got sat on like a really comfy sofa chair and I was like, well, I'm happy that I'm here. The staff, they kneel down on the floor to show you the menu. It's very baby, very cute. So they come down to like a really low level, put the menu on the table and explain it to you. I was really sad because I really wanted to get something from the Christmas menu, the seasonal one, but unfortunately they were sold out of the gratin, the rice gratin thing. So I had to get the curry, but the curry is excellent. It's really tasty, so it was fine. I got the mango lassi to drink and it was super tasty, and it had this little chocolate pudding which was very beautiful and round. I didn't feel lonely at all like eating on my own. I think a lot of people are scared of that, but actually it was fine. And I think in Tokyo it's kind of easy to do that. The one downside is if you can't finish your food, you've got no one to share it with, which is a bit sad, and you can't see more of what the menu looks like or tastes like. You can only get like however much you're going to eat yourself. I also went to the Baby the Stars Shine Bright store that's in nearby Harajuku. They're like playing like classical music. It was very pretty. Obviously I didn't buy anything. I just wanted to see what it looked like inside. I was really nervous to go up there because it was very quiet. There was no one else in there apart from the 2 shop assistants, but it was really beautiful and everything's so pretty, and they have like really gorgeous like socks and headdresses everywhere. I then got a Santa Monica crepe, and I stood outside the Santa Monica crepe stand eating the crepe and watching the screen that was above it. There was also a New Year's event at Shibuya Rex that was a Visual Kei New Year's countdown event, so they were showing like all the bands that were performing at the event and the poster for the event and stuff like that, so I was just watching it. I originally wanted to go to a live this day. I wanted to go to 6 is Christmas live this Friday, but I was feeling super anxious about going to a live on my own. I had decided earlier that day that I wouldn't be going, and as soon as I decided not to go I felt a lot calmer. I don't think I'd quite settled in yet and I wasn't quite ready to go to a live by myself. But as the days went by and I went to more lives, I really regretted it because I'm sure it would have been fine.
Oh,
I wore the Atelier Piero dress that I bought the day before. I just did like a very simple coordinate with them. Didn't have a lot of stuff with me, but yeah, most days I would wear like tights and then a pair of socks that I bought over them. Often like wearing the same socks because I had a washing machine in my Airbnb, which was amazing, so I could wash all my clothes and stuff. I went for a walk in Yoyogi Park because I was meeting a friend later. I didn't actually make it the whole way to the Meiji Jingu because I already ran out of time while I was walking, and I couldn't walk very fast because it was the first time I was wearing these very high-heeled shoes, but it was such a peaceful walk and it was really imposing and tranquil and a beautiful environment, and the birds were all singing in the trees and it was like a lovely sunny breezy day. I met my friend and we went to Cat Cafe Mocha in Harajuku, and this cafe is one that I really wanted to go to and it was so lovely, and they have cats of every shape and size there. We didn't stay very long, we stayed for about 45 minutes or an hour, so we were just strolling around playing with the cats. Cats are very chill but also very playful, and a lot of them were just sleeping. It was a very beautiful day again, very sunny, and there was lots of places for them to sleep. It was a really lovely time and I'm really happy we got to go. It's only the second time I've been to a cat cafe in my life and I'm really glad I got to go to one before I went home. There was this beautiful Bengal cat. I love Bengals ever since my favourite bandoman Atsushi Sakurai got a Bengal cat, so she was my fave, but all the cats were gorgeous. My friend then took me to a izakaya chain called Torikizoku. We had a lot of really nice food. We had some yakitori and some little rolls with like cheese and chicken inside, and it wasn't shiso, it was something else. There was some vegetable, I can't remember what it was called, but it was very tangy. Then we got the train to Shibuya. It was very busy. Christmas Eve, obviously. I saw so many people that night wearing Santa outfits in lots of different colours. They looked so cute and I could not believe. I was like, wow. I went to the Don Quixote in Shibuya, but it was very busy, so I just went on my own and said goodbye to my friend, and it was crazy. It was so busy downstairs, but once you got up to the top floor it was very quiet. It's the last chance to see Donpen, I guess, because they're changing the logo to this hideous do, so it's not gonna even be a cute Donpen anymore, which is really sad. I went to Famima to get some onigiri before going back home, had a little nap, and then I went out to Shinjuku to Bar PSY, which is a metal bar. I went there to meet my friend who was performing at a little DJ night. It's a very tiny bar and it's very cute and very cool, and they have a lot of metal. They just play metal all day. Bar staff is super nice, super friendly and sweet. We left at around 1 AM. I stayed for my friend's set and then we left together, and that was it. Never thought I would spend Christmas Day in Japan, but here we are. I headed out to Roppongi to see if I could find any like pretty illuminations there for Christmas. Walked around through the shopping centres there, and I went to the Mori garden. Unfortunately, because it was during the day, you couldn't really see the lights, obviously, so I messed up, but still, it was a really beautiful garden. It was so pretty and very small but very well kept and delicate. I went inside the TV Asahi building as well, because there's a part where you can walk through, so I saw some Doraemons and such. I went to Famima to take out some money because I spent all of the cash that I'd taken out, and I actually found that I really enjoyed spending cash rather than using my card, because it's a lot easier to like keep track of your spending. So I ended up taking out a lot more cash than I thought I would, and didn't end up using my card as much as I would. Then I decided to go to Akihabara to go to the Pasela times Sanrio collab cafe for their honey toast. I took the train to Akihabara and walked to the cafe. I was really nervous again, but it was fine. It was there, it exists. Got sat in this very cute cafe, so it's like really gorgeous in there. Yeah, obviously the highlight of the menu is the honey toast, so I got a big cinnamoroll honey toast and it was so delicious, very heavy. I think it's probably for 2 people to share, so it was quite a lot for me to eat by myself. In the end I couldn't finish it, but it was so yummy. They let you choose like a drink item from the menu like when you first enter, so of course I got cinnamoroll, and I sat at a table where they had a cinnamoroll on the table, and the whole time they were playing like videos of videos from Puroland and videos from like various like Sanrio shows. I really enjoyed this cafe. I think this was my favourite Sanrio cafe that I went to, because yeah, it's just very nice and the food was yummy, and there's a lot of choice as well. They have savoury food also. I didn't have time to properly explore Akihabara this time. I just walked through it to get to the cafe and then left, but it was crazy. It was so beautiful. Always like music playing like from somewhere. I don't know if this is a thing that they do every weekend, but the road is closed, so you can just walk on the street itself, like on the actual concrete road. So there's a lot of people just walking down the road, so it was a very like pedestrian safe area. Christmas Day was the best for like ginkgo trees, because there was so many of them and the leaves were all falling from them. They looked so pretty. I was like, wow, this is amazing. I then headed back to Shibuya to go to Shibuya Rex to see if I could get into the Daizystripper Christmas / Ray's birthday live. So this ended up being my first live that I went to in Japan. So I got to the venue at around like 5:15ish to drop off my bag at the cloakroom. They had the beautiful display for Rei-chan, and they had pictures of Rei-chan like all over the walls. Another fan saw me like taking a selfie with the display, and she asked me like if I wanted to have a photo taken with it, and I was like yes. So she took a photo of me and it was very cute, very nice of her. The cloakroom was very funny because they just give you a plastic bag and you just chuck your stuff in a plastic bag, and then they number the plastic bag and then take the plastic bags away. So great system of that. I just left my bag there and then just walked around Shibuya. I came back to the venue for the start of the live. I saw all the other girls lining up. Basically we had to wear white for this live because it was like a Christmas theme, and it really helped me out because I could instantly tell who was there for the Daizystripper live because everyone was wearing white. I waited until they'd finished calling everyone in by their group number, and then at the end I headed in and paid for my door ticket. They weren't fully at capacity, so I managed to get in and I was absolutely shaking. I was so excited.
I thought I'd mentioned this because I forgot to earlier, but during my stay in Japan, no one approached me in English, so it made interactions very intimidating from the start, but I did my best, and getting into this live was super straightforward. You don't need to speak much at all if you're just going to watch the show, and somehow I figured it out even with my basic knowledge.
I wasn't sure what to expect, like seeing Daizystripper's fan base in person. They've been together for 15 years. The fan base is very diverse. There was girls that were around my age, but there was also women that were I would say late 40s. It was very cool to see like the span of ages that Daisy covers. When Rei-chan came out, I cried and all of that anxiety that I had just went away, and straight away I felt like home. Literally, I felt like home. Yugiri was one of the first VK men that stole my heart straight away. Like, I remember thinking how beautiful he was when I first saw him when I was like 13 years old, and I couldn't believe a boy could be that beautiful. So I blame Yugiri entirely for my obsession with Visual Kei men. They all wore these really cute matching prince outfits, and apparently Rei-chan chose these outfits because it's his birthday, so he chose them. Sasuga Rei-chan. Everyone looked so handsome and really cool. Kazami and Nao are my favourites, and after that Yugiri. So I'm really glad I was on that side because I was blessed by both Kazami and Nao, so I was staring at them the entire time. Daisy, out of all the bands I saw, had the most furitsuke. Obviously they've been around for a long time, so everyone has developed a lot of furitsuke for them. I did my best to keep up with the furitsuke, and I had the best time. I had so much fun. The two girls in front of me, they knew every furitsuke, so I was just copying the two girls standing in front of me. For Rabbit Fantasy, for the chorus part, we were all making bunny rabbit ears going like this. At the end of the song, Yukiri was like, wow, minna shiro usugi mitaina, that we all look like white rabbits. They also played my favourite song, which is Amakara. We were all headbanging and going absolutely wild. Because it was Rei's birthday, there was quite a lot of MC. It was very MC heavy, and Yugiri came out. He presented Rei-chan with a corn dog, Rei-chan's favourite birthday cake. He put the little mustard on it and the little ketchup, and then took a bite. It was very cute. I did my best to maximum focus and try and figure out what was being said, at least the general like gist of it. I just loved Daisy's chemistry and closeness. Yugiri was crying after the encore. He was very emotional. At the end, everyone like pretended to hold hands, so like the audience, like we just clenched our fists like that as if we were holding hands. Daizystripper, like they all came out to the front and they held hands like that. We all jumped together like they sell merch before the live, and then after the live they sell chiki. I bought 5 chiki. I can show you them. That's the ticket. I didn't get any chiki from this live, but I got some recent ones. So I got Kazami, Mayu, Nao, and then 2 Rei-chans. So I didn't get Yugiri, which is disappointing, but that's okay. And then afterwards, all of the fans do like chiki trading, so they trade for the more valuable chiki that were taken on that specific day. After that, I went to KFC to get some chicken for Christmas, and I just took the chicken home and ate it in my Airbnb. The outfit I wore today was loosely cinnamoroll themed. I wore the Spins jacket that I bought, which was the first thing that I bought in 109, and then I headed to Shinjuku to the Cinnamoroll cafe. The cafe was so nice. It was very like warm and cozy, and it was another like beautiful sunny day, and I got the omurice and I got a little coffee as well, like little latte art on it, and it was really tasty. It was like perfect, exactly what I needed in that moment. It was so yummy and tasty. They gave you little rubber bands on your table, so if you wanted to, you could take your placemat home. I also came across this shop in the same building where the cinnamoroll cafe was that has like loads of rabbit themed handmade goods. I don't know if this is especially for the new year of the rabbit, but there were so many cute rabbit themed goods, and I saw these beautiful like handmade resin necklaces, so I had to get one. Then I went to Shinjuku Tower Records, which is like next to the Lumine. It's been one of my dreams to go to Tower Records because I love Japanese music. They had like J-pop, J-rock, Johnny's Idol, other idol and K-pop idol on one floor, and then on the floor above they had like all Western artists and female idol and like utaite, Vocaloid and game soundtrack music. I spent a long time in Tower Records, probably like 2 hours. I had to put stuff back because I was like, no way can I afford all of these. They have a really nice like VK display, and Muku were on the display like for their new release, and they were playing Visual Kei like music on the speakers, and that was really cool. And it was so cool to look at all the latest VK releases and the latest like magazines as well. It was very cool seeing like all my favourite artists and artists that were very familiar to me and everything like highlighted and stuff. I was so happy. I spent so much money there, probably the most money I spent in any store, because I bought a hefty chunky amount of new things and like DVDs as well. So then I made my way to Shinjuku Blaze for my second live of my trip, which was to see the Madna or the Madonna. They're a fairly new band that have been together for about a year or so, but their frontman Ryota, he has been in quite a few projects in the past, most notably Neverland. I was a huge fan of Neverland. I love their music so much, and I think Ryota is one of the most amazing people ever. And a gya that I know from Twitter was kind enough to buy a ticket for me. I met all the other foreign Madna gya, and they're all so lovely, and we were just hanging out outside the venue for a bit. We went in and I put my bags in the cloakroom. I got a drink, I got a lemon highball. We were on Tomo's side, and Tomo was really cool, and he was very cute and smiling a lot. This was their last live of their current like release, which is Cream Soda. Cream Soda is an excellent single, please listen to it. Ryota was so cool. He has an amazing voice live, and he's so Yankee but very like down to earth and very sweet and very funny. I was putting all my energy into this live. I was like, yeah, let's go. They sold out of cheki completely. I was really sad because I really wanted some cheki, but I bought like a towel. We went to get food afterwards at a little Korean cafe, and that was super yummy, and we got cream sodas for the cream soda theme. It was so nice meeting like other bangya who had come here from their home countries as well to see Madna, and who also love Ryota and Ryo and Takashi and Tomo, and it just made me feel so happy that I'm part of this community that supports and loves fandomen like unconditionally, and seeing these people chase their dreams just makes me feel so motivated and so happy. Then I went with my friend to Baraholic, which I always wanted to go to, so I'm really glad I got the opportunity to go. You can make requests, so they have like a little sheet of paper. You can write a request for a song. I requested more Soniki by Dive, but they'd never played it, so RIP. I had a drink. It was really tasty. It was like a ginger yogurt drink. It was so yummy. I really liked it. Yeah, it was just us like foreign gya in a little corner. After that, that was it. I went home. This was my Ikebukuro day, so I wore my 6 t-shirt and little arm warmies and headed out to Ikebukuro. I went to the Ikebukuro Don Quixote. I bought some Sanrio stuff there, bought some makeup, So already I had a bag to carry around from the first minute. Hooray! It was a very quiet Don Quixote as well, so it was a lot easier to walk around. I went to go get kaiten sushi at Kura Sushi, and I got my little waiting ticket, and I was waiting for my number to be called. And then when your number gets called, you go to the next screen, and then the next screen tells you which booth to sit at. I got my own little space there, and I spent ages at this Kura Sushi. I spent so long just ordering sushi like one after the other, and they would just pop up and I would eat them, and it was so nice, and it's so easy to buy stuff, and it's super cheap as well. I think I spent about £19 and I got little plates of sushi, and I had 4 drinks. I had mikan orange juice, I had like a kalpiko juice, I had like a tea with iced tea, and umeshu and soda. It's really cool. You don't have to interact with anyone, it's great. I walked out, and you just pay on your way out, so you just pay at the cash machine by yourself, which is really cool. Yeah, it was a great time. I loved kaiten sushi. I love it so much, I want to go back. It's so satisfying to like order stuff and then it just goes pew and arrives. Then I went to Sunshine City. It's a really nice shopping centre. There's a lot of cute shops. I made my way to the Pokemon Center there. I mainly just visited the Pokemon Center to buy gifts for my friends, but it was really nice, and it was very cute looking at all the Pokemon like outside as well. They were so cute. Then I went to Book Off in Ikebukuro really spontaneously, just because I just saw it, and I was like, okay, let's go. And oh my god, I literally spent 2 hours or more in Book Off just looking at absolutely everything. There's so much stuff. They have so many CDs, and I was just so overwhelmed. Book Off is like a second-hand store, so they sell a lot of second-hand goods like CDs and records and DVDs. But they have these racks of CDs that are like 110 yen each, which is like 64p each, so it's crazy cheap. めっちゃやばい。嘘。マジ安いです。Then I went to the Sanrio gift gate and I bought a couple of things from there. It's a very cute shop, I really liked the outside. Then I headed to the Milky Way cafe to have pudding there, and I really wanted to go to this cafe for ages because I saw it in a vlog a while ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go there. And I just had this moment while I was sitting in the cafe looking out of the window, and I was just thinking how crazy it is that I made it here, and I was just thinking, so emotional, like thinking, wow, like I'm actually here right now and I'm seeing everything for myself. I just came and I sat, and it was very peaceful. There was only like 3 other like groups there. It was incredibly nice, and the dessert was so tasty. It was so yummy. It was delicious. I can't remember which one I got. I think it was like Cancer or Scorpio maybe? I don't know, but it was so delicious. It was amazing. It was such a good parfait. One of the best parfaits I've ever had. It was so yummy. And then the like Blue Hawaii, I think it's called Milky Shower, or Starry Shower. The drink that I got was so pretty, and it had little jellies at the bottom. It was so yummy. It was the best. It was so good. This cafe is amazing. I definitely want to come back there. And you get such a nice view of Ikebukuro, the little crossing, and I really enjoyed Ikebukuro. It was so nice. I did want to go to more places after that, but I was so tired and I didn't want to carry all of these CDs around, so I just went home after that. I wore a new dress that I had just bought from Honey Cinnamon, and I wore the necklace that I had just bought, and yeah, it was very pretty, and I wore my new shoes as well. This day I went back to Shibuya, and I went back to Harajuku and La Forêt and 109 because I wanted to just revisit everything now that I had more energy and I was more confident. Goodbye Harajuku. I don't know when, but I will be back. Also, everything had changed slightly after Christmas. I think the stock even had changed slightly. So that was really interesting to see like how different it was. They had like a Kanano pop-up store and they had little figurines of her and that was really cute. I love Femme Fatale, stream Femme Fatale. I also did Purikura by myself. I wasn't sure if I would have a chance to do Purikura, so I wanted to do it at least once. So I just went to 109 and did it by myself. I went for lunch in 109. It was a very cute cafe called Cheese to Hachimitsu. The staff sat me at a window where I could actually see Shibuya Crossing from my seat, which was so cool, and it was such a lovely seat and it was such a beautiful view. The food was so yummy. I got this honey fruits tea, so it was like a honey black tea that was just full of fruits and it was so good. And I ordered this like fluffy souffle egg cheese omurice kind of situation, so it had like a bed of like really nicely seasoned rice and there was cheese in it, and there was like a fluffy egg souffle topping. It was so good, it was so yummy. I ate that entire thing, it was so delicious. I munched that down, and then I went to go and meet a friend that I met in England in Shimokitazawa. I've not spoken to this friend much, so it was so lovely to meet her and talk about a lot of things, especially getting to meet someone in a city that you're like visiting alone. It's so nice to meet someone and just talk to them. She took us to a really cute cafe. I got to try anmitsu, which I've never tried before and I really wanted to try. It was like this dessert dish that has like fruits and ice cream and jelly and anko in it. It was so tasty, I really liked it. Then we went thrift shopping in Shimokitazawa. Shimokitazawa is a very like trendy area among young people and they have loads of like vintage shops. They're quite pricey because a lot of them are like imported and like Western brands, so they are quite pricey. So we didn't buy much, but we just walked around and looked at everything, and it's just a very cool area. And there's a lot of cute trendy like cafes and these vintage shops that are just open, and there's this really cool like handmade market as well, with loads of handmade like earrings and goods. I bought a couple of gifts there. After we went shopping together, I said goodbye to my friend and I headed back to my Airbnb. I was watching TV and as soon as I turned on the TV, Matsujin was there. Bikurishita. One of my favourite things about Japan and something that made me feel really comfortable is seeing like idol that I know and love, and I saw a lot of Sho Sakurai and Ninomiya and Matsujin just randomly, and just made me feel safe. Arashi have always made me feel secure and familiar because they've been with me for such a huge part of my life, so it's just so nice to see those things that make you feel like you recognize someone. Even Sho and Jun do the little promotional like JAL video, they're in that when you get off the plane, so being welcomed into the country by Matsujin and Sho-chan is just so, I don't know, it just fills me with this weird like full circle feeling. Like booktick day. I'm gonna do a separate video on this because I have a lot to say, so stay tuned for that. It was a long day. Spent the whole evening packing my shopping, and I'll be honest, it barely fit in my bag and I had to sit on my bag and squash it down. I checked out of my Airbnb at 10.
お疲れ様。ありがとう。お疲れ様。バイバイ。バイバイ。ウィー。
And I went to go drop off my luggage at my friend's apartment. We went to Shinjuku together, we went to Lumine together. It was really nice going shopping with someone else and looking at all the cute clothes and cute shoes. Then we did Purikura together and it was super cute. Then we went to Shin Okubo to try and get into this really cute cafe that I saw. In the end, we didn't end up going to this cafe because it was far too busy. It was a public holiday. The last 2 days I was in Japan because it was for like New Year. So everyone was off work and everyone decided to go to Shinjuku. So many people there. But I'm glad I got to see Shinjuku because it's a really cool place. So then we went in search of a cafe and we met up with another friend of mine. Eventually my friend did find a cafe and it was really cool, and they had like cream sodas there, and they had a little egg toasty which was really tasty and yummy. And then we took the train to Ikebukuro and we went to the Sanrio cafe there, and we got some tasty Sanrio stuff. We had little Sanrio lattes, and then I got a cinnamoroll pancake which was very tasty. They put like cinnamon on it, and the honey like golden syrupy syrup was really yummy as well. That was my final meal in Japan. So I went to go pick up my bags from my friend's flat, and then I headed to the airport. I couldn't believe it was already time to go, and I really didn't want to. It was so amazing to chat to my friends and to meet new people as well. On the train back I felt really sad thinking about all the things that I didn't get to do, which I guess is normal. Like, instead of thinking about what you did get to see and do, you end up thinking about all the things that you missed out on. So I just kept thinking about everything that I should have done differently. I have to remember that what I did manage to do was very brave, and I have to give myself credit for that. It took me a lot more time to adjust than I thought, and it was just super overwhelming, and I'm so glad I managed to go to a live on my own. If you're also a Visual Kei fan, it's all good, you'll be fine. I got into everywhere just fine. Depends what band you're seeing, I guess, but if they're a small-ish band, you can probably just get tickets on the door, so you just walk in. And before you go to the live, they do have the prices, so just check Twitter, check like E+, and they'll have the prices for like advance tickets and on the door tickets. The price does change sometimes. I think it's because they factor in the drink ticket. The drink ticket is compulsory, so you have to get a drink, but you can just get water, so yeah. For E+, you need like a Japanese phone number to actually register with E+, so it's very difficult to buy tickets in advance unless you buy a paper one at the konbini. Even with the konbini, you can only buy it in a specific window, not on the day of the concert, I think. You can do it in advance, but that means you still have to come and pick up the ticket within a week of the performance, so it's really long. Anyway, the convenience of being able to support bands that you love is just so fulfilling and exciting, and it makes you feel like you have a purpose on this earth. Obviously it's not good to live for someone else, like you should live for yourself, but it's really amazing and such a nice feeling to support bands that you love. Out of all the reasons why I would consider moving to Japan, that is the biggest. Even if you don't speak to anyone, it feels incredible to feel like part of this group of people. Oh my gosh, I have so much to say. It's 4 AM. It took me the whole day to record this. Closing thoughts. Themed cafes are amazing. So many cute cafes. I barely even scratched the surface of cute cafes. I love seeing people wearing their favourite idols merch and carrying their favourite oshi and character goods around them. I love how sentimental a lot of fans are, and they carry these things with them all the time, and it made me so happy because I'm exactly the same, and I'm super like sentimental, and I love collecting things. I love collecting lots of memories in the form of objects, so I love that a lot of people in Tokyo are exactly the same, and they collect a lot of these little trinkets and things like that. We saw girls at Purikura. I was wondering what live they were going to, and I saw she had an uchiwa with Yamada Ryosuke on it, and I lost my mind. I was like, oh my god, they're going to see Jumpu, that's really cute. Shinjuku Blaze, going to Shibuya Rex, going to Budokan really struck me with feelings of everything that had come before me. Every other fan who had been in these venues just really like impacted me so much. It was a very euphoric, stressful time, but now that I've done it once, I feel like I can do it infinitely. Everyone was nice to me. People even helped me carry my suitcase into my station. I really didn't want to draw attention to myself with this humongous bag, but yeah, I was really surprised at the kindness of people. I'm so excited for other fans and other tourists to be able to make the trip, because I've been waiting for so long, and I know so many of my friends have been waiting to go for the first time or to return there. So, oh my god, just, it's starting. I'm really glad that my first time going was now, because I would have been a mess. Could you imagine me when I began this channel going to Tokyo? Could you imagine? Could you imagine that? But me now? Sure. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck on your travels if you are planning to go to Japan soon.